Let's look at what's in my golf bag for the winter season. We'll start off with the putter, which is an Odyssey White Hot with a 34-inch shaft on it, on the normal Odyssey grip. Uh, the height has been specially set for me at request because I like to get down over the putt, and this has improved my putting. I used to have a Ping Answer, and I just didn't have a good feel of it. The face on this gives me a better putt feel, so it does. It's the only concession in my bag to actually non-ping club. From the point of view of the rest of the bag is ping. We'll start at the top end of it, which is the driver, which is a G25 with a regular shaft, and it's a straightforward ping regular flex shaft, as in my other woods are as well. 3 wood and 5 wood are also G25s with the regular ping shaft in them. So they're a matching set in a sense from the point of view of being graded the whole way down. The driver itself has a 43-inch shaft in it. I have another TaylorMade driver which is a longer shaft, but I prefer this one, particularly over the winter months, where I'm looking more accuracy than he has. A driver has a 10.5 loft, but I have it set to plus, so I have, which gives me a wee bit more lift off the tee, which is what I want, because I have quite a low ball flight and quite a low launch angle. Irons are the Ping G425s, and I've got fitted for them, so I've got a 5 iron right through to a lob wedge, and they have nip-on shafts in them, again regular, so the whole set is set up from the point of view of being matched to me, and I actually got them, as I say, fitted. That took a little bit of a while because I got that done during or just after COVID, so it took a little while. It was a 60th birthday present, but it became almost a 62nd birthday present by the time we got through the whole COVID scenario and everything else. The 5 and 6 iron at the top of the bag, sometimes, particularly this time of year, I might be tempted to go for more of a fairway wood or a 7 or wood or 9 wood, depending what I'm using. Last year during the winter I used a mat all winter. I found when I went from the winter golf on the mat to the actual fairways, my grip was off and my swing was off because I'd adjusted my length of grip to the mat as the club was getting shoved back up closer to me, and I'd gone down the grips. And I found when I went back to normal golf, for want of a better term, went back to qualifying golf, I was topping a lot of balls, and it was only after a while that I copped on that it had been the use of the mat throughout the winter that it got me into a bad habit, as it were. Also this year now I'm actually going to not use the mat. I'm just going to play off the lift clean in place rules, so I am, and see how that goes. Might be a little bit rougher on the irons, particularly at this stage of the year, because we've just got the fairways and all sanded, so that might take a little bit out of the irons, but at the same time I clean my clubs quite regular and keep them in good shape, so they should be well enough looked after for that. Golf ball at this stage, what I'm using is a Srixon Q-Star. That's what I'm going to use during the winter, and I've actually sent for mint condition ones, not brand new, because I find at this time of the year there's little gain in having a premium golf ball in winter golf, from the point of view of the ball hits the ground and it basically stops a lot of the time, and also the sand and everything else, it tends to scratch the surface of them very quickly. So at the end of the day, the reused ones are as good at this time of the year. Also the fact that I would tend to, and my partners would tend to find, that we would lose a number of golf balls at this time of year that we wouldn't normally use. Like a straight shot can sometimes get lost if it's over a hill and into an area where there's leaves. So autumn golf can be a bit of a pain in the butt when it comes to that. I lost one last week on a par 3, had a good front nine going, and it kind of put an end to what was a good round. Last week I did an experiment where I just went from a 5 wood down in the bag and a 7 iron down, and I had a 7 wood and a 9 wood and a 5 wood were what I was using. Now that worked quite well, but I did find that the two intermediary woods, or the 7 and 9 wood, I wasn't getting the distance I'd maybe get out of my 5 and 6 irons, so that's why I then back into the bag again. I just have to remember to strike them clean and make sure I get through the ball properly. If you tend to feather the ball at all with them, they don't travel. That's just the nature of the 5 and 6 iron for me. And sometimes I have a habit of guiding the ball, which one of my partners says, get through the ball, Jerry, you have a good strike. So, that's something I have to remember all the time on the final swing, is to finish through the ball. And it's quite a good tip for everyone, obviously. But the 5 wood off the tee was very accurate, hit a lot of fairways. That's what it was about. It was getting the ball in play, particularly off the green markers, which are the shorter markers. The distance didn't matter so much. But we had a big wind into us in the back nine, and I felt I suffered on the back nine, having had a good front nine, again with one lost ball in it. Had a battle the whole way in the back nine against the wind on a couple of holes, and it left me playing approach shots to par threes where I'd normally be up around the green having a little pitch. So the score suffered as a result of that. So the 3 wood from the fairway and driver are back in the bag this week, and I'll let you know how that goes. But that's what's in the bag for this weekend. I'm a notorious tinker with golf clubs, so you'll discover over the course of the winter that I'll do maybe 2 or 3 of these, and each time I do it, the makeup of the clubs, particularly at the top of the bag, will change. I've kind of got to the bottom of the bag now, and I've done away with the chipper and stuff like that, because I've got quite proficient with the law wedge from around the edge of the green, having watched, and I have one of them on YouTube, a few tips from Phil Mickelson from the point of view of setting those up properly and getting through the ball with your pitch. And that has been quite successful with me, and very positive with regards to, and with lift clean in place, that shouldn't be a problem over the winter, I'm hoping. But I'll report back. As I say, I'm chasing my own red this winter. It'll be match play mostly. I will report on scores from the point of view if we do beat that par figure, and it's my net par that I'm looking at. This is realistic golf, this is senior golf, this is golf off a 24.5 handicap or whatever. It's not golf, scratch golf or whatever, although I do have a son who plays off scratch and another one who plays off 15 or so, they're advising with regards to clubs and use of them and shaft, regular or whatever. I have used stiff shaft before, it hasn't worked for me at all. Regular works. I've used a senior shaft on a couple of clubs that I have, but again, too whippy. The regulars work for me, and I'm sticking with them over the winter. I have to stick with my clubs this time of year, because I can tend to, as I say, tinker with them quite a bit. So we're going to give this a full month of winter golf with this setup, and I'll report back on what's in the bag at the end of the month, so I will.